Hi, this is Bobby at Copel TV Repair with an improvised video today, which is not functionality proof. It's going to be different than most of the videos that I do, or similar to the ones in which I'm whining, I guess. It's a recurring theme in this business, and for me personally, about whether customers are always right, as the popular saying goes, and whether they're idiots, as my thinking goes. And when I say idiots, I want to make the very clear notion that I'm also a customer, and I have been many times in a situation in which I felt stupid for the way I handle a particular transaction with a vendor. I've been feeling stupid when somebody close that I know is talking to vendors as if they are idiots and making demands that do not make any sense from my understanding as to how a vendor should behave. So I am not saying that I am genius or we're geniuses and customers are idiots. I'm saying that we, the people, when our customers tend to be, well, idiots, for the lack of a better word. And I'm going to bring a few examples of that again with the clear notion that in many, many cases, I am not any better than that. But it just so happens that today I'm going to be talking from my vendor point of view and not so much about my customer point of view. Some other time maybe I will tell stories about how I felt stupid when being a customer. Actually, a week ago I called health insurance to ask them how health insurance works. And this is after having lived 20 years in the United States. I just needed to go and choose. I don't use health insurance. I do have health insurance, but I would rather go first. I don't go to doctors as a rule of thumb unless I really, really have to. And second, if I do, I would prefer to go and pay $200 cash and get something done than deal with it. That's a whole separate story. I said I will not be getting into that. So first things first, we received that board, which is from Visio M550 SV, with this note. And the note says, it has no sound, and when it does have it, it lasts about 30 minutes, then it goes away. I'm not going to get into the semantics of it has no sound and when it has it. What I'm going to get after is something that bothers me more. This is just the first thing. What bothers me more is this. All of our repair service listings have that section in them that says requirements for the board sent for service. The boards we receive must be physically intact and must have not been tampered with or serviced before. The advertised flat rate for repair service is only valid when the above conditions are met, etc., etc. Sure enough, a lot of the boards that we receive from eBay tend to look like this. And I can bring other examples from literally yesterday and the day before. People get really, really upset when we tell them that their board has been messed up with. We had a pretty heated conversation literally the other day with somebody, and I look at that. This capacitor has been replaced, it's been ripped out, and there may or may not be connection on the other side. Same here. There are a few others. Now let's flip on the other side, one of those capacitors. Let me see if I can find it. The way how it looks at the top where they try to patch that connection. This thing here, I don't know if you can see the two tracks, the one that goes to the left above the IC and the one that goes to below. There may or may not be connection there, and what's more important, inside this may be a multi-layer board and there may be a broken connection between top and bottom. That point here can be jumping somewhere else. Let's see where my finger is, I'm really sorry. That point may be jumping somewhere else. Where was I? Here? No. Hold on a second, I got lost. Ooh, that's another one. So I was here, and all my fingers is that it's really confusing. Let me get a pointer. All right, that's probably better. There you go, finally. So this connection may or may not be existing. This connection probably existing, but between top and bottom of the board, where we saw that leg hanging out, there may be a connection that connects this to somewhere else along the board through a middle layer. This is a very, very poor job. And then there was another one that I was looking at on another capacitor, this one here. This is a cold solder joint. It may or may not work well. And we receive something like that, and we're supposed to go and cover whatever is being sent our way as if we are gods, and we're not. We're techs. Our time is money. The flat rate fee is established, and people get really upset and nasty when we point out those simple things. Another example that I want to show today is another common one, and I'm sorry that I'm going to be showing names, but so we received that envelope, because that's what it is. It's an envelope, and inside that envelope, it's a main board, PCB, which all you have to do is throw a large package, God forbid it's a power board, on top of that, and this board will be no more. There you go. What's inside? This is 1 millimeter thick. Tossed with the other boards with USPS, it only takes something that's 3 pounds thrown on top of it, and this is board no more. Of course, our shipping instructions tell you not to send fragile stuff in an envelope, but hey, I mean, customers do know better, right? They're always right. But that's not all. So these guys send us that board, and we fix it by some miracle. It's not broken. So we fix it, and we want to ship it back. Guess what? We don't know who he is. We don't know how to contact him. There is no entry in our online database. There is no service request from Prince Brooks. So we refer to the labels, and the labels have luckily a phone, 97224519777. Our own phone is 972245199. What a coincidence. This is just 2 units of our number. It is only odd, well, don't trust me, 97224519977. Dial. And we want that on speaker. Hopefully you can hear it. Oh no! The number has been disconnected. Unbelievable. So there is no paperwork with the board. The guy made an effort and sent it with expensive certified mail, so he knows that our board is here. And what's going to happen is they're going to call in a few days really upset as to why are we delaying the processing of their board. There is no service record on eBay for their name, neither Prince nor Brooks. And so this is one of the many cases where the always right customers do silly, simple things. It's not like, you know, they want to offend us or do any harm. It's just that customers are not to be trusted. Don't even get me started on all the times where customers do really moronic things about how do they connect boards or how do they do troubleshooting or bring us boards in which somebody had one of those buffer boards literally today. They brought us a stain board that this goes for, and they said that per our video they tested the buffer board ground to the outputs, which is the way to test for the buffers, except they didn't know that, or they didn't pay attention that this is being measured by floating ground, which is this point, to the output and not the chassis of the TV. So sure enough, after we fixed the sustain board, now they said that it's not fixed, which of course it was when we tested it, and only then it came to discover that they were measuring ground to output and not floating ground to output, as shown in the video. They just hear ground and they assume chassis. So Customers do stupid things all the time. Please forgive me for my opinion. It is a solid experience-based opinion. The vast majority of customers are, okay, what's the word? Morons. Again, not offending. For somebody who has been having health insurance for 20 years and made a call last week to ask how to find a facility that takes that insurance, I'm a customer too. But, tell me, in my opinion, you should just follow the instructions. And I have found with dealing with bigger institutions, and I'm finding it over and over again, if I follow their way of doing things, it actually happens to work better than if I pick up the phone and start screaming on them. Many, many times when dealing with large companies, it is easier, and it actually works, even though slower, to go through their established procedure than to just raise hell and demand your rights as a customer. And I'm finding it, and I'm finding that they're not as bad as I initially thought. They're still very slow, very lazy, very inhumanly, but the procedures many, many times work. And in our case too, if you follow our shipping instructions, you would not package the board like this. There will be paperwork along with it. If you read our listings, you will not send the board, at least knowingly, that it has been worked on. And you will not be surprised that, we can get back and tell you, sorry, but we cannot fix that for $100 because first we have to spend an extra hour patching whatever was done to the board. So how do you guys do? Let me know. Thanks, and happy hacking.